the 3 cameras.
Yeah, whatever.
And you was looking all over the place.
Scholars, what is it?
What up, scholars? How y'all feeling?
We trying to figure out which camera to look at.
As we talk, listen, y'all notice every single time we get on a show, we talk about the stuff that happens off camera. Mm-hmm. Some of the times we just like let it bleed into what we doing because y'all know at the end of the day, this is our show. And we kind of, like, think about it. Y'all ever see shows where it's like, I wonder what happens when the camera goes off? Or like the bloopers and stuff like that. I feel like the people should see some of those blooper-filled moments. Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice.
We're going to get into that. But welcome to the episode, everybody. Dante, how you feeling?
I am feeling good, feeling blessed. March was a great month.
Nice.
There's a lot of things that happened in March.
Turned 50.
I turned 33. Thank you very much. Disrespect is starting already. I had a couple of shows rounding out. My last show coming up this weekend.
That's fire.
Yeah, man, it's been a busy one though. It's been a busy one, but in a good way.
I just want to be an extra in your first blockbuster movie.
Don't sleep because there's big things are going for the rest of the year. Listen, I can't talk about it all.
I'm gonna be extra like Phoebe. I'm gonna look in the camera.
I can't talk about it all. Just understand.
There's always
forward
my
progress.
That's my dog.
But I'm good.
You acting the shit out of that scene.
This is a simple thing, right? I'm just sitting there, hey, y'all, welcome. Look at him doing his thing. Look at that brother. Like, relax, man. I appreciate the help, though. I appreciate the battery that you put in there.
I'm happy to hear that.
I do. That's why you my dog.
That's why you.
That's you. You my boy, Blue.
You my boy, Blue.
But no, I'm great. I'm great. I can't really complain. You know, any day above the ground is a good day because that's another day to do something different. Listen, so I'm not complaining. I'm doing pretty well. Sean, how you feeling, brother? Let them know.
I started another 75 challenge today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That shit trash, Marv. I
thought after the first one.
Isn't there no drinking?
No. I'm doing the 75 soft.
Accountability. We starting this episode off quick with some accountability.
I'm doing the 75 soft.
See, we love when our guests are in on it because
now I can explain the 75 soft.
He's quitting on day one.
75
Noted.
hard, there was no drinking.
Mm-hmm.
75 soft, I can have 3 drinks a week. And they have to be the wine variety.
That's
Hold on,
at least two.
wait.
That's at least 2 that
That's
he's
not
got
how
for the
you
week.
fill a wine glass.
First of all,
that's 3
just
alone.
because I didn't fill the wine glass the way you guys wanted me to fill the wine glass.
Yo, see, and the thing about this is, Breana could attest to this, and I'll let you introduce yourself in a second to the people then, but Marv will know firsthand how you tried to sit up here and say that we don't know how to drink wine. You did that. You were like, oh, you guys are not wine connoisseurs. Then prepare to pour yourself the Midas cup of all cups of wine. And I know that that's not how you're supposed to do it.
What it sounds like is...
Unless you order in the lowest of the lowest bottle of wine.
Is this the lowest of those bottles?
That looks like what they make in the jailhouse, the moon, not the moonshine, the toilet wine, hooch. The hooch. That's you drink it like it's hooch. That's what you drink that like.
That's disgusting.
That's definitely your 3 for the week, though.
What else am I drinking for this week? I don't drink every day.
I hope nothing because you straight.
Listen, like I said.
And it's only Monday.
Like I said.
That includes Friday and Saturday if you go out.
Yeah, right here. Like I said. I started my 75 soft today.
Mm-hmm.
Failing already.
It was at this moment that he knew.
Marv, that's funny as hell. Shout out to Marv.
Always.
But but can I get through my
Go ahead.
All right, don't interrupt me. I started my 75 soft today, which I am allowed to have a few drinks. The 75 hard was crazy challenging. Mm-hmm. Not going front, I almost failed that shit at least 3 times. Mm-hmm. I made it through, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go do something that I know will be much simpler, because even though the 75 hard did help me lose a lot of weight, it also fucked my body up. Mm-hmm. I developed a knee problem. I had to get special treatment on my shoulder because the workouts are too intense.
Didn't he just call you old?
See, you know what I'm saying? I like how things come full circle, right? I'm a 50-year-old.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
My body is aging. It is what it is. I'm young at heart. That's all that matters. But other than that, things are good, man. Like I told you, like I've been saying, I have nothing to complain about.
We trying to practice gratitude.
I'm good, man.
We trying to practice that gratitude, man.
Got some new sneakers.
Oh man! And then you put it all on the furniture.
That was good.
We get invited places.
See, what you're doing is
Hey, you don't know how to act.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
Which
He
I
took
both,
all their wine.
what it sounds like y'all both doing is being negative as hell. Just
Yeah.
focus on the positive.
Okay,
dog.
you're right.
Let's try this again. I got some new sneakers.
Oh
Don't
man,
put it
those are
on
some
the
fly
table,
sneakers.
Oh
though.
God, she did it again.
Put it
Wait.
in the air. No, he can't lift his leg up. The knee problems. Remember?
Out of pocket for that shit.
They're out of pocket as hell. This is what we
Way out
doing.
of pocket.
You know?
Yo, so as you can see, y'all, we do have another guest with us today.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
as y'all know, with our guests, we let them introduce themselves, plug your stuff in, and things like that. So let the people know who you are.
I don't know what you want me to tell them, LaShawn.
Your name?
My name is Breana.
How do I know you?
College, unfortunately.
What's your Instagram name?
Brianna Dawn.
Ah, we lit.
Straight like that. Plug those 3 things. That's all we need. Boom. Straight like
You
that.
got YouTube? You on YouTube?
No.
You on TikTok?
To watch videos, that's it.
You don't get followers in your TikTok?
No, I don't. No.
She about to be a content creator.
No.
I'm about to start making shit up.
You about to start throwing stuff out there?
He's gonna give me another job. Is he doing it for me?
She's an
That's marketing right there.
She's an entrepreneur. She got What's your business?
I don't have a business.
Yo,
Like, what?
you the worst, bro.
It's annoying.
Well, no, all right. So let's get.
You just annoying, bro.
This is nah, but on a serious note, this my homie. We go back. It's my road dog right here. You know, I don't keep people around me that don't have nothing but good things to present to my life. I want to get this out the way before we get into other shit, because I like to give people their flowers when it's necessary. I told you before.
And you better.
First of all, can I get into my shit, please? I've told you before. I've told all you scholars before. I've dealt with a lot of shit in my life, and there's certain people who've kept me here even when I felt myself really down here, and she's definitely one of those people. So I love you to death. You know that. You're getting my damn nerves, but
It's mutual.
as long as you know that. But this my
All of it. I love you and you get on my damn nerves.
But Dante had something he wanted to speak on.
Yeah, real quick. The thing about it is, depending on when our scholars tune into this episode, it's going to be a day later, a week later, a month later, but it's still going to remain the same. This is regarding, I know you watch it, especially this year. It got real good this year.
Real.
Shout out to anybody who actually did a bracket this year and it worked. For
Nobody?
for
Fuck.
the men's side of basketball, that's 0% of y'all. It's
Nobody
actually a
won the women's
statistic.
shit either.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that one. Well, shout out to nobody winning that one, too. That's why I don't do those brackets. But this year, in terms of like the sport itself, it was fun. It was you even said it. We was out not too long ago, and we was talking about this with a couple of our other friends about women's basketball in terms of the NCAA. Oh, it was real good this year. Yeah. It was real good this year. Championship game was last night.
I like
Shout out to LSU.
I like where women's basketball is going.
Yeah, yo, don't sleep.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to start getting a lot more exciting, bro, because the energy that was there in the tournament this year, oh, that was great. As a competitor, I'm a competitive person. I love to see it. I love to see the trash talking, the media getting involved. I love all of that, only because the competitive side of me likes to see when people say it's like, oh, you can't do it and you do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, that, I don't know about y'all, but that feels great. When somebody tells you can't do something and you do it, you're like, I don't even need you to really see it. Just the fact that I proved you wrong, I'm going to sleep like a baby. I love that, right? So seeing LSU versus Iowa last night, that was a good game.
Yeah.
But those of us that have watched that game probably have seen the controversy, well, that has been created, because it was no real controversy, from the homie Angel Reese. Now, the reason why I wanted to even bring it up is because we ain't going to get into too much depth for a couple of different reasons, but don't worry about the couple of different reasons. Just know that we'll kind of keep it in a realm that keeps certain people out of trouble. That's the best way I can label it.
Do it again.
Keep it in a circle. Yeah, we got to keep it in a certain
circle.
realm because we don't want to get nobody in trouble. As y'all know, the last thing we want to do is get people in trouble. But my personal feelings on it is, I don't know if you saw Shannon Sharp talk about it earlier. He was talking on his show with Skip Bayless.
I saw a clip, but I didn't get a chance to actually dive into that.
long story short, he brought up what a lot of individuals are thinking about. Because honestly, I won't take nothing away from Caitlin Clark. She is a phenomenal basketball player.
Clark's a monster.
Yo,
bro.
she is phenomenal.
The third play of the game, she pulled up from 35 feet like it was nothing. She had a hand in her face too. She was,
call it what it is, like, because they were saying even like the LSU players, they didn't like how she was playing defense in the Final Four because she was like, playing off and stuff.
Yeah.
But as a competitor, I know why you do that. You're basically saying shoot it. Now, if you want to get upset, I get why you'd get upset. But the way that you stop somebody from being disrespectful that way is shoot it.
as a non-shooter, that shit's annoying.
But again,
I'm gonna shoot the shit out there.
so it was hot and heavy from the beginning.
Facts.
But as it was going on and progressing, I love the competitive spirit. Right? We get to a point in the game where Angel Reese does exactly what Caitlin Clark did. Last round, and again, I don't take nothing away from competitors.
When they played Louisville,
I have a problem when certain competitors are held to a certain standard that other competitors aren't handled to. Again,
you know why.
I know exactly why. And like I said, for certain particular reasons, we don't have to get too much in depth for certain things. But those of us that have seen who Angel Reese is versus who Caitlin Clark is knows where I'm going with this. Y'all can insinuate what you want, but you know where I'm going with this.
I think we should just flat out say it.
That's fine. But like I said, there's certain... I'll say it because it's my standpoint. The way I feel personally, it's crazy to me how still to this day, people that look like me can't do anything because if we do, we get labeled a certain way. Angel Reese was hood, ghetto, all this other stuff for the entire year. Why? Because she liked to wear lashes, because she liked to get her nails done. Why? She liked to look good when she on the court. What's the problem with that?
She was dating NBA young boy.
But what's the problem with all that, right? But then, again, I don't take nothing away from players because this is not a comparison of players. It's more so a comparison of how players get treated. Because this happens on a professional level, college level, high school level. It's crazy to me how this still happens in America where people can do the same exact thing, and because they look different, you get labeled as doing this as opposed to doing that. All she did was do exactly what the other girl did. You can't see me. Again, that's a John Cena thing. Those who watch wrestling know where it comes from. Yep. And it was just the competitive spirit of you can't see me. It was distasteful because they were beating them by so much. At the time, they were beating them by, I think, like 10 points or something like that, and we're competing. And if this person does it... 10
points isn't much, though.
And at the end of the day, we're competing.
In a basketball game, 10 points is not much.
Especially
and if you really want to get into
especially
it...
with how she was hitting the threes,
Facts.
too.
If you do this to me, all that means for me is, it's time for me to turn up. Because now I'm feeling like, it's time to compete. The media took that and ran with it. Ran with it.
Listen, I don't agree with the whole, she wrong for the shit.
She ain't wrong.
She did do it to her when the game was over, when you're supposed to do this shit. You can talk your shit during the game.
If you win, let's be real. Let's be real. If you win, you get the last laugh regardless. So if you want to, and it wasn't distasteful. It's not like she was in her face like, you suck, blah blah blah. She did two gestures. One which she's done the entire tournament. They even drew the ring on during the other rounds, and nobody had nothing to say about that. But now that she's winning, it's that's distasteful. That's out of character. That's crazy to me.
The shit that bothers me the most about it is that if you play sport, and most of the people who were getting upset are people in the sports world. Even if it's not shown, you're talking shit. Even if you're doing, like, I was watching the Up in Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. And their
podcast is amazing.
It's fire. Shout out to them. They had Kevin Garnett on the episode. Everybody know Tim Duncan as this quiet ass dude. Kevin Garnett said Tim Duncan is probably one of the best trash talkers ever because
it's always the quiet one.
He's not doing it in the sense, I'm in your face yelling and shit. He's doing it in the sense like, I'm going to just be as quiet as possible and say it to you on some sneak shit. Like, oh shit, that was good. Knowing it was bad.
That was a great shot.
So, Caitlin Clark, if you watch how she plays, she's been doing that her entire career. She talks shit. Some people talk shit differently. If you talk shit to me, if I do something in your face, guess what? Everybody going to know now what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. And it was already going to be a problem no matter what of the outcome of that game, because even before the game started, they were already comparing the coaches. Like, when Iowa was getting ready, they were listening to High School Musical in the locker room. when LSU was getting ready, they were listening to fucking Lil Boozy.
But you also got to remember where these schools are located.
Exactly.
Iowa is in Iowa.
In the
LSU
middle
is
of
in
nowhere.
Baton Rouge,
Right.
New Orleans, like Louisiana. I mean,
Do you know
like,
any rappers from Iowa?
that's my point exactly. Because think about it, even LSU, they were getting calls from Lil Wayne because he's from the area. It's not necessarily
Louisiana.
like he went to LSU, but it's like the culture is around that. Anybody who's in the Louisiana area will tell you like that culture is very heavy. No matter if it's college, high school, professional, you could be having a losing record, but the culture down there is different. That's one of my bucket list places I want to go to, by the way.
What, Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge, New Orleans, preferably New Orleans. But Louisiana in general, mostly for the food. Because,
So the nice places.
well, I mean,
I ain't trying to get shot.
you know what? Your level of annoying is up here today.
I'm just being real with you.
I agree.
Like, I got a family member. I ain't gonna put his name out there. When we visit like big cities, he likes to visit the hood parts. I'm like, bro, we from there. We don't need to go other places to go there, dog. Let's go see the fucking spaceship or something. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Let's go see the spaceship.
Why I gotta be in a spot worried about some nigga walking in trying to shoot?
I gotta look over my shoulder
Yeah.
even when I'm going on
I ain't
vacation.
going on vacation to do this shit. Like, man, I'm going home. Like, so I gotta put it out there, bro. If I am invited, man, listen.
Brianna, I want to pose this to you though. In terms of
Did you even invite him though?
No, I don't invite him
okay.
nowhere. I don't invite
That's
him
how you
nowhere.
feel?
That's
Yo,
always how I feel.
Well, both of y'all ain't. Y'all
What we
not
gonna
about
do?
Y'all not about to sit up here with these nonsensical ass actions of y'all right now.
Why?
I wouldn't be invited on your trip.
No,
I wouldn't be invited.
because y'all know how to act.
I don't know.
It's like, nah, bro. You'd be invited. You'd be invited.
Michael,
son.
he's
You'd
He's
be
gonna
invited.
cause extra attention though because he has to dance every chance he gets.
Who
So
falls
if
that?
you want a
Nah,
low key
she
night,
was-
here comes LaShawn.
Oh, no.
Can't have that.
That's she just hurt. Cause,
I'm not hurt.
I took over her wedding.
I was at the bar. I could care less. I was at the bar.
I was at her wedding like,
But see, in Sean's defense, the only reason why I can't come from him is because I'm an enabler. If he starts
If
dancing,
he was there, it'd been 10 times worse.
if either one of us are in the same area and one starts dancing, the other one just starts up. So Brianna, I'm just going to apologize in advance if we're ever in the same area and there's music involved because there's 100% chance that I'm going to be enabling this man right over here. Either that, saying it verbally, or just dancing and he joins in.
If I had my drink with me too,
Oh, forget it. We don't need those
Her
problems.
wedding was dope.
We don't need those
my God.
problems.
Those fucking bartenders were heavy-handed and shit. We was drunk as fuck.
We were taking shots with the bartenders.
Yeah.
See, those are the kind of bartenders you invite to anywhere because, yes, we need those kind of bartenders because then they also get a little heavy-handed from the shots they taking.
Yep, good times. I was drunk as shit. Then
We couldn't even do our entrance because like they were tying up the bar and we needed to walk past the bar to do our entrance and the line was like there was like 50 people online. I was like, y'all some fucking alcoholics.
Word
I
spread.
invited like an AA meeting to this shit.
Let me tell you what happened. Word spread quick. 4 people came back in there and literally was like, "Oh, these drinks good." I'm like, "Oh, we like that." So we all went to the bar.
Good.
We went to the bar and they started pouring up and shit. And before we knew it, was like a whole big ass line behind it. Mm-hmm. It was a good time.
Listen, Brianna, I got a question for you though. Do you play sports or played sport at all? You competitive?
No. Competitive, yeah, but not sports.
So that's the question I want to pose. Sports out the way. Competitive spirit is what we're going to lock in on.
Right.
In terms of competitive spirit for you, do you have a problem with trash talking? Let's say, I don't know what you get competitive about. It could be even something simple like board games.
As long as I can beat you, I don't care if you're going to talk shit.
Okay. So you feel
But
like...
I want to win in the end.
Okay.
You can talk all your shit, but I need to win.
Okay. So let's say we playing Connect 4.
Okay.
And I'm doing all this. Like, yo, you trash. You can't see me. Is that going to like deter you from wanting to beat me? Or are you going to like
Go more.
really go harder?
Shut up.
You gonna do that shit? Connect.
Yo, son, when I tell you my level of competitive is
He's going to
different.
do it on the dance floor next weekend.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
See,
Like-
and don't let
That's
him get it
different.
twisted because we went bowling one time, and I'm never going to drop this. We went bowling one time, and you could, if we're bowling, you would think like, all right, everybody's going to get a rental ball because we all want to stay in the same realm. Mr. I bowl every weekend brings a whole ball bag. He's got like 2 extra ones in a bag that he's bringing with him.
With the shoes.
Yeah, and we over here getting ready to play a friendly game of bowling. And you talking about me the way I do Connect 4.
Do I not save money by bringing my own shoes? I'm not paying for rentals if I own some shit. Thank you.
But why do you need to bring 3 balls with you?
I brought 2 balls with me. I left one of them in the car. I don't want to hear that.
So you bought 3, but you bought 2 inside. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was for the record.
His math is different.
Yeah, exactly.
The shit that irks me is that it's not like I just did the shit sporadically. No one knew. I told these motherfuckers I was bringing my balls.
Yeah.
They thought I was joking.
But see, at the end of the
it's
day...
also an unfair advantage because when he brings his own ball, it has the track marks from how he throws the ball. Yeah. So that's an unfair advantage.
So let them go buy their own balls. Y'all still ain't fucking with me. What's up?
So see, this is what I mean, though. You see how it was a friendly game? You see how competitive you got by bringing your own stuff?
I was practicing first.
Multiple ones in case the first one...
You see what I'm saying?
I was practicing.
But that my point where I'm going with this is you were coming for me because of how competitive I would be for Connect 4.
Be real though, and don't bullshit it.
I won't.
Was I talking shit to y'all?
Yes. But you want the truth, right?
Who's talking shit?
You were after we started talking shit to you.
Leave with that.
Well, no, but you asked. So you wanted me to tell the truth. So I'm gonna go back all the way and be like, well, yeah, you did it. But the reason why is you wanted. You said, did you talk shit? I said, yes.
Did I start the trash talk?
No.
All right.
That you did not.
I just backed
He indirectly did when he came with the balls.
Oh,
see, Breana gets where I'm going with this. She gets where I'm going with it.
Because you had an unfair advantage.
Whatever.
That's like going to play mini golf and you got a whole putt system, like a whole putt bag with you. Got your own little golf ball and everything. Like, yo, we doing mini golf.
Like,
bro.
I don't need these. I'm just hitting my own shit.
Like some of the people we was bowling with needed like the bumpers because they was throwing gutters. And this man over here with the professional spin, he got the little towel and everything, doing this with the ball. Like, yo, come on, son.
His lanes are oily as.
So yeah, I like to believe that all 3 of us are competitive. So I want to pose this I won't pose it to myself because obviously I know my answer, but to you guys, in terms of competitive spirit, do you feel like there's too much? Like a person can go too far when it comes to being competitive?
Ladies first.
If you're going off of the situation with LSU, I say no. I don't feel that was...
let's disregard that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying in general, do you feel like there is a line that can be crossed that does deem as disrespectful when it comes to being competitive?
If you're keeping it based on that and it's not going on a personal level, then yeah, I just feel like if you're trash talking, then keep it about what you're there for.
Okay.
Like, you don't need to air somebody's dirty laundry while you're trying to trash talk.
Okay. I can respect that.
I can't stand that shit. That's OD.
What about you? Sean?
I agree with that last thing she said because I've been in a situation where we keeping it about the game. It's about what's happening in the moment. If somebody start talking about, well, your mama did this and fucking, I remember when you was like, what the fuck that got to do with what we doing right now, dog? Like, now I'm about to slap the shit out of you.
It's not even about to be about sports.
Like, what we doing there? But trash talking, I play football, so I'm okay with it. Like I said, as long as it stays at a level where it's just focused on what we're doing in the moment. Mm-hmm. Once it starts becoming more shit outside of what we're doing, I think that's pointless. Especially at the end of the day, sport is a game. Like, yeah, you could possibly get money for it, whatever, but it shouldn't affect something physical to happen to you. And I think that's what people don't know when to stop sometimes. Like, I called you old earlier, but when I played basketball at LA Fitness, they called me old head. So, because I'm constantly trying to get these little motherfuckers to realize, like, yo, we can talk shit to each other, but it don't always have to become a fight. I can get mad about you fouling me or you lying about a call, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I fucking hate you. Let's go outside. I'm going to shoot you with some shit.
You're not going to pull it above the rim.
Yeah. Or fucking fresh. I'm not going to pull it up. It's like, I would never do some shit like that, but I'd just be trying to explain to these little motherfuckers like, yo, it's never that deep. Let's just talk shit to each other playing and leave it at that. I think naturally you have to be somewhat competitive when you playing anything. And for the people who don't necessarily need to talk shit, in their mind, I know they're saying a whole bunch of wicked shit.
I'm glad you even brought that up because when I used to play ball a lot more than I do now. Mm-hmm. I can say that, basketball. And I'm a very quiet, I'm a humble person. I try to be as humble as I can be. But on the basketball court, it's a little different. I also don't do a lot of talking. It's like you, unless somebody starts with me. So like when it comes to being competitive, I actually don't have a meter when it comes to being like disrespectful if we're in the moment. So like to y'all point, like let's say we playing ball and somebody's like, yo, your mother this, blah, 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 blah. The only reason why I wouldn't get upset is because yes, we're on the court I understand, you trying to get into my head and stuff like that. You could be as disrespectful as you want, say what you want or whatever the case is. But if I find a way to get the competitive edge over you, all of that jawing that you're doing, I just prove that I don't care about it. So like for me, even when it comes to being competitive, because I've dealt with some disrespectful people before. I'm not the tallest person before, so you get your shot blocked. Man, get that weak shit out of here, blah blah blah, and start tall. Oh, he open, let him shoot, blah blah blah. Like you hear some people just be more and more disrespectful. But I personally feel that when that competitive spirit kicks in, whatever it is, like that competitive spirit kicks in. If you feel, it's like to Breana's point, if I feel like I could beat you, you doing all this. Oh, that's going to light a fire that even when the game is done, I'm not going to be able to put out.
But some people use it to like try to knock you off your pivot.
Oh
And
that's
that's why you got to be smart enough to know who to do that shit back and forth with, because some people, like you said, some people fuel off of it. Some people like they just fucking get buried.
Some people are trash, and that's why they got to do it to kind of get you off your game, bring them down to their level. That's what I'm saying. Like. There is, but then again, I also haven't been presented with anything like really disrespectful to the point where it was like, oh, nah, this ain't even about sports no more. Like, this is wild. Like, I've heard stuff, your mother this, your father that, or blah, 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 your sister this. I've heard those things, but it doesn't like pull me out of character. Like, so, like, I guess where I'm going with it in terms of like competitive spirit, that's where I'm at. Like, that's why when you're like, you do that with Connect 4? Absolutely. I've played Uno with my little cousins who are like 5, 6 years old. My aunts be like, let them win. Why? No. This is real life. Real life will tell you that you ain't gonna just get no
if
W's.
You ever been around Dante at any random game nights? Oh my God.
Yes. Anybody who's been to game night with me knows.
Shout out to Simone and Leon. So they always throw game nights, and they usually make it gender, usually guys versus girls. And Simone got this fucking cousin. That's her cousin, right?
Yeah.
Her fucking cousin's always cheating.
Yo.
But she fuels off of us getting mad. So we're constantly telling D, like, yo, let her be. Dante was like, fuck that. Nah.
Yo, because it's like the competitiveness be kicking in. And to the point where, like, I know the person is doing it to, like, purposely get me angry. Now I'm getting angry because it's like you're poking the bear because you think it's funny. But I know we're just playing the game. But I can't tell the difference because I'm already in competitive mode. So it's like when people keep doing that, all I want to do is turn up more. But that's where, again, I said about basketball. If it happens, I just want to turn up more. Yeah, but that's me. That's me.
But not at game night.
Not at game night.
Not at game night. I be trying to curb it.
Especially when your host is like, oh, man, you can't get that mad.
But in my defense, I've gotten better. I've been getting better. I try not to let it bother me so much when we play certain games. It's just never play a game called, what's that game called? Taco Cat Chicken or something like that? What? You ever did that? You played that game over there?
That was
it's Taco Cat something
with the fucking cards.
Yeah, you got to put them in order.
Yeah, nah.
Yo, that game is fun, but with the wrong people, you can find it at Target. It's Taco Cat.
It's like some hippie hipster game.
Yeah, but you got to basically, it's like a matching game, but it's like it's like Goldfish. So you need to have like the certain number of cards. You throw one out.
You mad about Goldfish?
Yeah.
Nah, listen.
It gets real.
Right.
Okay, Brianna's like, oh, okay. So note to self, no game nights with Dante. He be wildin'.
No goldfish.
He be wildin'.
No goldfish, no bowling. Noted.
What you mean no? You know what?
I don't have my ball anymore. We can't bowl, sir.
Go buy one. Anyway, we're going to move on.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up just because, I just wanted to touch on that. But we do have another topic for today.
Sir.
That I'll let you introduce this one. I'll let you do the honors. See Breana smiling over here. She excited for this one.
We didn't even get into it yet. So, we spend a lot of our times trying to discuss relationship topics, try to get to the bottom of things, to see how people genuinely feel about certain things. So I came across a video on Instagram, I want to say this was yesterday, and I shared it with Breana this morning. It was about clinginess in relationships. Now, we're all in relationships.
Yes, sir.
How do you guys deal with clinginess in your relationships? Or do you have to deal with clinginess in your relationship?
Me personally, I don't.
It doesn't have to be this one. Any of your old
I've dealt with clinginess before. I have. But I've dealt with it in the wrong way before, where it was like I let the person be clingy because it was like, this is who they are. So I'll just, put my feelings to the side because I want to make them happy. Mm-hmm. But then what that did for me was it detached me from like my friends and my family. Mm-hmm. And I lost a sense of who I was because all I would do was make time for this person because I couldn't even get like 10 minutes for myself without them saying, hey, what you doing? You want to see me? No, like, and now that I'm older, it's like, I have no problem telling the person, no, I don't want to. And it's not like I don't want to see you. It's just, nah, no is a full answer for me now. Like, I don't have to explain myself. No, I'm good.
You don't live with your girl, huh?
I do.
Oh.
But see, the thing about that
Everybody ain't crazy, Bree.
I'm not saying that, but if she texts him, wait, why is she going to text him saying, do you want to see me? If they live together, she could just walk into the next room.
See,
you understand what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But again, on the flip side of it, I have lived with women before, and it has been an issue still where it's like it was the same person, whether it was like we were living separate or together. It was like you always have to keep tabs, so to speak. I don't like being micromanaged at all. I don't care if it's work. I don't care if it's a personal relationship. I don't like it because it feels to me like you're undermining who I am. You're not saying that I can figure this out for myself. It feels like I can't do this without you being there, like right up under me, like, yo, relax. But then I've also been told I'm aggressive when I tell a person to relax. But my defense is because I let it bottle up. Mm-hmm. So I don't let it bottle up no more. I get it out the way. Yo, I don't like that. And if it keeps happening, you're a great person. This is no shade to you at all. It just ain't going to work because I know what's going to happen. In 2 months, I'm going to be really tired of this. I could deal with it for a week. After that, I know this, and this is your behavior, that's going to be hard for you to change. I can't change that about you. So, yes, I've dealt with it before. Now, no. But I have in the past, yes.
Yeah, because your girl got all of the time Infinity Stones, so she know how to...
Anyway, we should just move this on. Her name is Infinity. I hate this guy. That's why I said
her name is Thanos.
Oh, Lord. And the fact that Breana's wearing the store shirt, I know you get the corniness. I love it.
But I think like Dante said, I've been on both sides of it. Hate to admit it. I've been in the position where I was the person trying to be clingy. And not realizing that I was doing it because it wasn't my person. I wasn't for her. But I was young and didn't understand how you're supposed to, like, allow your feelings to be what they truly are and not fight them. I would fight myself in certain situations and be like, yo, let me be up in her space all the time so she can see how good I am for her. That shit didn't work. I'm like, you know what? I can't be like that. But my issue was I went from being clingy to the exact polar opposite. Distant as fuck.
Pick a lane. Yeah. My boy said either far right or I'm going in the express lane. It's only two.
The next relationship was just like, no. Stay away from me. So, but now I'm trying to learn to not automatically deem something as being that and understand why people do certain things. I genuinely don't think it's healthy to do it because the worst thing you can do in any relationship, whether it's romantic, friendships, you can't lose your sense of self. Once you lose the person that you truly are, it's over for you. Mm-hmm. And if you get lost in somebody, she's been around to watch me get lost in people before. Once you get lost into somebody, yo, you literally giving them all of the control. And that shit's not healthy because then that means any little thing that they do is going to affect
good or bad. Yep.
And like I've been in positions to where when I was being like that, I was losing jobs over it. If she wasn't talking to me, I couldn't
with you mentally.
Sleep.
Yep,
I'm just up like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, you know what? Like you said, I can present myself in a way at the beginning of those relationships to be like, hey, I don't like this. I don't like that. I'm going to respond to you like this. Don't feel some type of way about it. So, you know, you're going to run into issues every now and then because when you're in a relationship, of course, you want to spend as much time as you can with your significant other.
And relationships about building, so, you know, it takes that mutual respect.
Mm-hmm. But everyone deserves their time to just be apart. And that's healthy to do that. And I don't understand people who choose not to realize that. Because it's like, I didn't come in this world with you. I'm not leaving the world with you. We can spend our time here together, but sometimes, especially with me, I got a big-ass head. It's a lot of thoughts in this big-ass head. So I like to be alone in my thoughts sometimes because sometimes they're not healthy and I have to process them correctly. You know, I've been on the deep end of things, so I'm like, you know what? If I don't take that time to do that shit for myself, I'm going to lose it. And I don't like doing that shit. Especially You know, I'm already bigger than most people. So if I lose it, that shit makes me like a fucking maniac. And I've been in positions like that, and people looking at me like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy. And I'm like,
You are.
am I?
Yeah.
Which actually brings us over to Breana. How do you feel about the particular topic again? Romantic, friendship, whatever, clinginess.
Like LaShawn said, I've been on both sides, but I feel like if there is that level of clingy, there's more to it.
Okay.
It's a level of insecurity. It's a level of you need that person around, whether you're even just speaking to them or in their presence, to feel that validation and feel that self-worth. I feel like it's a level of you don't love yourself enough by yourself.
That's a gem right there, y'all. That's a gem.
I just feel like
I say Marv, drop the bomb.
and I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like you don't trust your partner, the person you're with. If you have to be up their ass 24/7, you don't trust them at all.
Because trust and believe, if somebody's going to do some sneaky shit,
They're going to do it.
And then not for nothing, if a person is adamantly saying, don't do this, don't go here, don't. It's like when you were a kid and your parents tell you don't do something. The first thing you're thinking is, I can't wait to do this behind your back, and you had no idea that I did it.
I feel like it's also a form of abuse too. Like in that aspect, that's emotional, mental abuse.
That can cause some kind of trauma,
right?
If you think about it, because it's like to your point, LaShawn, like when you're feeling clingy, or even to Breana, to your point too, it's like when you're feeling clingy, why do you feel like you need to be around that person 24/7? Like, love is great, you know, being around your friendships is awesome and things like that, but like, remember the moments when you were single and you just kind of enjoyed life how you wanted to. Just because you develop a partnership with somebody doesn't mean you have to give up those things in your life, right? I've dealt with relationships before where it's like, you know, I love playing video games, and I don't care to. I'll admit it, I don't care. I like video games. I've grown up with them. I play them. For you to tell me that I can't do that anymore, and that's literally a stress reliever for me. Okay, cool. So I can't relieve my stress with that.
That's the way you escape your reality.
I like to play basketball. Same person would do something where it's like, oh, well, you know, I really want to see you. I'd go to school, I'd go to work, I'd want to play ball, but I couldn't play ball with my friends because this person wanted me to be there with them after work. And that created a very toxic habit for myself, because then I stopped hanging out with my friends. I stopped playing ball. I started losing a sense of myself, like Sean was saying, because I was so enamored by, okay, let me keep this person happy. But it's to your point. It's because I wasn't happy with who I was.
Correct.
So I wanted to make this person happy because I felt like, oh, ain't nobody else going to want me. This is the person who wants me. I need to do right by them so that I at least have somebody who wants me. My ideals on relationships have evolved because now it's not about how much time can I spend with this person. It's about what kind of partnership am I going to develop? Is this person going to be my peace, or are they going to bring me more danger, or, you know, things that I don't want to think about?
Alert.
You know, police, help! You know what I'm saying? But it's like, after working all day, doing what I'm doing, being busy every daggone day, the last thing I want to do is come home to something that I don't want to be a part of. And that's what started to happen in previous relationships. Like, I didn't want to be there anymore because I'm only doing what you want me to do, but you're not even like trying to see what I would want. Everything has to be perfect for you, but for me, it's like, he'll be all right. That level of clinginess, to your point, is extremely, extremely traumatic and draining.
Toxic.
It's toxic as hell.
I don't know if you agree with me. I'm trying not to generalize it because it's not everybody, but what social media and just naturally what our society is doing right now, they're pushing women to be like that. They're creating this scenario. They're creating this idea that all men cheat. If we're not with them, we're out here doing bullshit. So it fuels people who already have those insecurities to be like, I got to make sure he's not doing that shit. So now they just want to be like here all day. Like, no, like, we good. I sweat a lot. I'm hot. It's me. Like, back off a little bit.
Yeah, because for me personally, like, the clinginess, it in theory sounds good, right? You want to be around this person.
That's all good in the beginning.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the first,
okay
like, I'll give you like the.
Oh, I'm happy you said that. Go ahead, finish your thought.
I'll make long story long, but what I was going to say is the idea of clinginess, I get where it comes from, but it's like Breana said, it's, for me, the clingy of like wanting to see you all the time is probably within the first maybe month of me wanting to know you. And I only say it like that because it's new, it's brand new, it's shiny. I've never been here before,
so
right? I want to see this all the time.
Phases.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely. 110%. The reason why is because I believe it's just like the honeymoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you
It's
go
like
on the
an
honeymoon,
infatuation.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Why can't your whole relationship be the honeymoon?
Because love has ups and downs.
Agreed.
Relationships have ups and downs.
True,
The
but
honeymoon
it can
is
still be.
no.
Yeah, but in the beginning, in that honeymoon phase, everything is perfect.
They could do
that
no
person
wrong.
does nothing wrong. That person is the best looking person you've ever seen.
This is the best thing you've ever been a part of.
You start to see they have bad habits, just like you do.
It could be my experience. I don't think I've ever felt that way because even with me being clingy with that person, if I felt indifferent about certain things, I wouldn't argue about it, but I'm speaking on it. And we would have our indifferences. It don't have to always be an argument. But I'm not, don't look at me like that. I'm not one for that. Even when I was like that, I never just was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. No, I'd say it probably in the wrong way and not be as direct as I needed to, but it got out. I don't understand.
Over time.
Yeah, but
I'm going to correct you there. Over time.
It still got out.
Because you did have that honeymoon phase.
No, I wouldn't call it that.
When you think of, because we're saying that it exists.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I say a honeymoon phase does exist is because it's what they call the rose-colored glasses. It's like Breana said. When you're in that honeymoon phase, the person can do no wrong. Think about when you're first starting a relationship. You've been in long relationships, so you know. Think about when you first start versus like the year mark. It's not that the love has changed. It's not that, you hate the person or anything. But you start to notice that they do things. It may not get on your nerves, but you notice it that you didn't notice before. Because now you're more observant of it because the honeymoon phase is gone. You're starting to learn more about this person. Because in the honeymoon phase, like I said, nobody's wrong. Everything they do. They can do something like leave garbage on the floor. Oh, that's so cute that you don't clean up after yourself. But after a while, that shit gonna get annoying.
Right.
Bro, why every time I turn around, the floor got something on it? Why you not cleaning this up?
You didn't say that shit when you first moved in.
Exactly. And now they like, but you didn't have a problem with it before.
Thanks.
Honeymoon phase. Because if you would have said, oh, babe, I love you so much, but please can you clean up after yourself? You could still love the person. It could still be flowers and sunshine. But because now you're speaking on it, it can still remain in the realm of respect. But now in the honeymoon phase, they're doing that. You're ignoring that they're doing that because you want to be around this person so much. And then they do it and it's like, no, that's really annoying. Oh, they've been doing that since day one. So it's annoying now because the honeymoon is over and now you're starting to settle in and see. Like you ever watched what's that show where they get married? Not Love is Blind.
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. I don't know how I forgot that. Literally. They'll go on the honeymoon phase and then they'll move in together and it's completely different. Why? Because when you're on the honeymoon, you just got married, you're loving being in a relationship, you're in the island sun, it's so beautiful, our lives are amazing, look at this, we're in a relationship. Then you come home to the real thing, y'all still got jobs, they be having animals and the other one allergic to the pet and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? They snore, they do things that they don't necessarily like, and it's like, that's why I believe in the honeymoon phase. Doesn't mean that strong love doesn't grow and exist, but that honeymoon phase, at least for me, it's a very real thing. Absolutely. I think
what bothers me about labeling it is that you're allowing yourself to believe that it's going to end eventually, and you don't put yourself in the mindset like, hey, let me pretend that it's always that. Even if it's not pretend, let me believe that it's always that so I can make sure that this shit ends well, even when we are disagreeing and getting in arguments and shit like that. And I think ultimately that's why people end up leaving their relationships as fast as they do now because, like you guys said, you get so engulfed in the honeymoon phase, like, oh my God, this is amazing. That first sign of trouble is like, oh, this ain't it. And
run.
That's why I don't allow myself, and I'm being real, I don't allow myself to go there anymore because it's like, yo, shit is real. Life ain't fucking perfect. Like, I might really hate something that you did one day, but I know that if it's not ultimately your everyday behavior, I'm not going to say I'm going to look past it, but I'm not going to allow it to be a deal breaker. So what I try to create in my mind, my relationship now, and I want to say the last 2 girls I dated beforehand, it will also turn into like a negative in a sense, but I was trying to understand where people was coming from to try to give shit an actual chance without putting any definitions on the phases that we were going through and allowing myself ultimately to go through it and to also walk away when I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the last person I dated, she was not on board with that at all.
The last two.
Okay.
I like Grace though.
she Big Pooh.
Shout out Big Pooh.
Shout out Big Pooh. But so
I like how she's Big Pooh. She's like 4 feet tall.
I love it.
That's how it is. That's Big Pooh. But before the girls I dated before her, she felt like I was putting up with too much. But my thing was, my experiences are in their experiences, so I have to try to see where they're coming from at times. Granted, some of it was too much. That's why ultimately it stopped.
But see, then I'll also pose like the opposite side of it, and then I want to bounce it over to Breana because I want to know how you feel about it too. Would you say then you don't believe in the honeymoon phase, but it seems as though the way that you talk about it, that there is a phase that you don't necessarily want to ever linger, in the sense of, like, you even said that somebody will do something, you're like, oh, I just like, that's just probably something they did today, right? So you notice it. You notice it though, right? Mm-hmm. So where I'm going with it is, in the honeymoon phase, the person can do no wrong. So I know what you're saying, and again, we all feel differently, but I know what you're saying in the sense of like, oh, this person is, I love them, I'm enamored by them, but I still speak on certain things. What we mean, again, I don't speak for Breana, I can speak for myself. What I mean by the honeymoon phase is those things that you're saying of, like, you're noticing those things, you notice them, but you sweep them under the rug. And then eventually, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general, eventually that thing that got swept under the rug is still there. It's just like, oh, damn, I'm tripping over. What's this under the rug? Oh, it's the same thing that's been happening.
You got bed bugs.
But again, love evolves. I hate you. Love evolves. So I do believe that there's a honeymoon phase, because when it comes to marriage, for example, when people go on honeymoons, they love it. Mm-hmm. It's amazing because you're going away with the person you just married.
Now, if you're Ben Stiller.
What did Ben Stiller do?
He had 2 movies where he went on honeymoons and he got cheated on one and he cheated on his wife the other one. They don't watch enough movies.
I thought you meant like Ben Stiller really did so. I was about to say, what happened? What happened?
They don't watch enough movies.
Mr. I don't believe in a honeymoon phase, but let me relate a movie to real life. Make it make sense. But okay,
are movies not based off of real life?
But
no,
they're not
always.
Real life.
But
I didn't say they were real life.
Finish what you were saying, please.
How dare you?
What I was saying is, long story short, when it comes to the honeymoon phase, it's this idea that the person can do no wrong, those rose-colored glasses. When people go on honeymoons, it's amazing. But then they come home and they realize, yo, we're married, and marriage takes work, because there's going to be days where we don't see eye to eye. Mm-hmm. There's going to be days where I had a bad day, you had a good day. There's going to be days like it happens to me now, and I'm not married yet, where I have a really good day at work and my girl don't have the best day at work. And I'm on 10 because I'm like, yo, my day was amazing. And she's like, babe, I'm not there. I can't get mad that, she has to like detox from her day.
Big fan.
But in the same regard, had this been like that honeymoon phase, in her mind, maybe me being at a 10 would be cute. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it's so cute that he loves being at work. But after a while, it's like, yo, bro, you be doing this thing where you like on a 10 and like I'm not there. And we've had those conversations.
You get home like, shut your giddy ass up.
No, she probably wishes he go back to
yeah,
work.
like, yo, you happy as hell come home from work. And it's happened. But
take your ass back.
And it's been one of those where I'm like, oh, damn, I do. And that's learning about myself. Yo, I do be on a 10 sometimes, because when I'm excitable, it's hard for me to calm down. I'm also an actor. Breana, you don't know this, you do. So when like I go to rehearsal and I'll have a good rehearsal, I'll come home with my actor voice and I'll be on a 10. She's like, babe, you're doing a lot. My bad.
So Dante was Moses in one of his last plays.
Yeah, I was.
He played the hell out of... I've been to one play when he played Moses before. He played the hell out of Moses.
I was unsure at first. That's why I looked at you like...
No, I'm dead serious. Dead serious.
I really looked at you for confirmation when he said it. So I was like, oh.
So you know what? This is why I got to stop doing the things that I do, I guess, because I'm saying real shit and people think that I'm bullshitting. He played Moses.
No, I think you need to have guests that probly don't know you as well as I do.
Because every time you say something, Breana be like...
I just look at him like...
Why would I make that up?
But Breana, I do want to know, how do you feel about this, whether it be a real or a non-real honeymoon phase for you? How do you feel about it?
Let's change the wording for him so he feels better. We'll call it the beautiful beginning.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
All right, the more you know.
Right, the beautiful beginning.
The beautiful beginning.
But see, with going with that too, it's also like, even if you see like a little bad habit, I feel like when you first get to know somebody, they're not presenting the bad about them. They only want you to see the good. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure when LaShawn first got with Grace, he didn't let Grace see all of his bad habits, in month 1.
I think she did because she worked with me.
She probably wanted to kill you then.
She did.
Yeah, but
she did.
that's different though. But like, I know she saw you at work, but it's like she saw work you. So she didn't know every aspect of you within the first couple of weeks. And that's the reality of it. You don't. Mm-hmm. So going back to the beautiful beginnings, we can't say honeymoon phase.
I didn't say you couldn't say this shit.
Because you don't believe in it.
That don't mean you can't say it.
So we need to get you to believe in something here. So we're going to call it a beautiful beginning.
Okay.
So in your beautiful beginning, right. And the beautiful beginning, Grace didn't know every part of you. Thanks. The good, the bad, the ugly, the scary, all of it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, going off of that, the person that you present in the beginning is not truly 100% who you are. So you don't let them see all of the bad habits. So when that honeymoon phase is ending, it's you getting comfortable. It's you letting that guard down. It's you letting that wall down and saying, this is me. Here's the good, here's the bad, and everything in between.
I think I just learned something.
Yeah.
About time.
First of all,
shit.
That's why the more you know. That's why you. But you see, that's why you can't get people they props. They.
But I'm right though.
I just said that.
Right, because you don't know everything about someone. And how long have you and Grace been together?
October will be 2 years.
Okay, so we're at like about a year and a half.
We've known each other longer than that, but together.
Yeah, but knowing someone and being with them is two different things.
It's two different things, correct.
You and Grace probably don't know each other 100%.
Facts.
Right?
Yes.
So, why didn't you tell her that all in the beginning? If there's no honeymoon phase, why didn't you lay everything out on the table and say, here's my bad habit? I missed the laundry basket. I put that shit on the floor.
Did you not hear why you asked? Did she know all my bad habits when we first dated? She knew everything.
She couldn't have known everything.
No,
obviously,
because she moved in with you, so there's no way she knew everything.
That's
call Grace up.
That's the thing. Like, but if Grace, knowing her, and since you brought it up, I'll bring it up. Knowing her,
she would bypass it because it's you.
No, but she would agree with you guys on the honeymoon thing, and because it's me, she would look past a lot of the shit that I did wrong. Mm-hmm. My thing was, since I was going into this completely different from when I went into my other relationships, I put all of me out in the line first to see if it was something that she truly wanted, because especially with it being, an interracial relationship, but that she needed to know how I live my life, because I didn't feel the need to change a lot of the things that I didn't have to. Obviously, everyone, let me not say everyone, but most people do have bad things that they could possibly do better or change about themselves. So I was letting her know the type of person I was, because in our field that, she met me in, we worked in home health care, right? I was a coordinator. Most nurses are women. My job was to get shit staffed and scheduled. What did I have to do most of the time to do that?
Talk to women.
In which way? I was flirting with them. So she had in her mind.
I don't know if that's like business.
I hope your HR is not listening.
No, listen.
You still work for this company.
Y'all not
block them.
Y'all not in the field, so y'all wouldn't understand, and that's okay. But I'm letting you guys know, most male coordinators to get their shit staffed, that's what they were doing, and it worked. Obviously, it wasn't going further than what it was, but sometimes it was like that. So she came on board the company I was working with. She seen that. And she had this idea of me of being this fucking douchebag.
But you can be.
Anybody can be, but...
No, specifically you, though.
You guys think I'm a douchebag?
You can be.
I'm asking, do you think I am?
You can be.
You guys are jackasses. Anyway, so... I don't care what you feel about me. I naturally know that. That's
Who cares?
That's just
because he's still talking.
That's just not who I am at heart. So she had this idea of me of being this fucking gigolo.
Gigolo is crazy.
So I had to show her, like, that's not who I am. You guys know I make fucking stupid jokes all day. I like dancing. I like laughing. Like, she thought that I was just this person that was just all about, let's call it what it was, getting pussy. That's draining. That sounds very fucking... Who wants to do that all day? Like, it gets really annoying that everything is about that, and she thought that of me. So when we first started dating, I was letting her know, like, hey, I like this, I like that. I don't like this, I don't like that. And I put all of me out there. The issues started to arise because then once she realized that it wasn't disingenuous and some of the stuff that she wouldn't flat out say she didn't like started to become problems, like you guys said. That's why I said she'll probably agree with you guys on the honeymoon thing. She didn't know how to properly come to me about it. Since I did present it at the beginning of the relationship, she was trying to force herself to be okay with it. And I tell her all the time, like, yo, don't do that. If you feel some type of way about some shit I'm doing, tell me, because I'm not in your head. The worst thing you can do is stay quiet about some shit that you know is deeply bothering you and allow me to do it still. Because then I'm thinking it's okay. I'm doing it and you're fucking dying inside. That's not fair to you. Mm-hmm. And I tell her that. She asked me once if she was to break up with me, how would I feel? I'm like, I'd be hurt. But I'm not going to like, oh my God. She's like, why? I'm like, I told you at the beginning of our relationship, I've been through a lot of bad shit. So part of me is kind of like desensitized to it. So I don't allow myself anymore to go there. But at the same time, it's like, you got to speak on them things and understand that it can't all be focused on what that one person is feeling. Just because you love that person, you can't be scared to lose them at the same time. You have to understand that your feelings, everything you're feeling internally matters. And if you choose not to speak on that shit,
I feel like that goes back to the clingy thing, though.
it's a circle.
Because
It always comes full. Every episode, it just
does.
comes full circle, man.
Bring that shit right back every episode.
Because if, like, it's that self-worth, that self-love, it's that insecurity aspect where it's like, if I tell you what I don't like, how are you going to handle it?
I either do or I don't.
Are you, like, is that going to be where you stop? Like, where you draw the line? Like, is that going to be the end of it if there's something that you do? Because maybe that's how you are. And maybe it upsets me, but maybe that's where the line is drawn. So maybe that's like a scared thing.
But you can't love somebody more than you love your boundaries. You have to know what you're capable of dealing with. If you know something is ultimately going to eat at you and that's just that person's personality, the worst thing you could do is force yourself to stay in that. Mm-hmm. It's going to drive you fucking crazy.
I mean, that's to Breana's point. Like, because again, I've been in situations where it's like I didn't see my worth and stuff like that.
Agreed.
Yo, now I wish somebody would tell me that I'm not worth something. If you feel like, and I feel this way, this is about literally everybody, family, friends, I don't care. If you don't rock with me and there's a legit reason for you why you don't, I will not be upset if you'd like to leave.
Thanks.
I will never kick a person out of my life, but the door will always remain open. If you decide to walk out of the open door, it will always close behind you. And that's me personally, because I've done the whole, like, give a person another chance, give a person another chance, give a person another chance, beg people to stay. I don't do all that anymore because it's to your point, Breana, about the self-worth. For me, like you said, you lay it all out there and things like that. You're either going to love me or you're not. That's literally all it boils down to. So, like, even going back to the clinginess, I can't be clingy on a personal level, because then that means that I'm now doing the disservice to myself because I'm so enamored by this person. I'm always wanting to be up under them. I don't ever do anything else. That means I lose Dante, and I've done it once. I can't do it twice. So, yeah.
You don't want to lose Dante.
You know, you my boy, Blue. You my boy, Blue.
But before we get out of here, I want you to answer this question for me. What advice would you give to someone who was dealing with that in their relationship, clinginess?
Take time for themselves. Do what makes them happy. What makes that person before the. So I'm gonna say you, so no one's confused.
Oh Lord.
If it was you, like, I would say do what made you happy prior to you getting with Grace.
Okay.
What made you your happiest? Whether it was going and bowling for 8 hours straight by yourself, or going and dancing in front of a mirror for 8 hours straight. Whatever is gonna make you happy, you do it, because that person so far, they lost themselves.
Facts.
Reconnect with friends, reconnect with family, because I've been at a point where I was so clingy, where I eliminated my friends, where I pulled away from family. You know, so it's like rebuild those bonds that you may have broken. Find yourself again. Find your worth. Because how is that person going to truly love you?
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. If I could wrap that up real quick, I'd say that it's relatively the same thing. Love yourself. You got to find what makes you happy, what's going to make you whole, because another person is never going to be the one that makes you whole. Because if you give that person that power to make you whole, that never ends well. that never ends well for anybody. So again, when it comes to being clingy, you can love the person, you can be around the person, you can be with the person, but let everybody have their space. Breathe. My couples that's living together, y'all seen how divorce rates went through the roof when people had to like sit down with each other in quarantine? Yeah. It's like things like that. If y'all know how to say, okay, babe, I'm gonna go stay in the bedroom, you stay in the living room, we'll reconvene at 7 o'clock. You know? That because then the heart I'm a firm believer in absence makes the heart go fonder. Mm-hmm. It makes everything better when you miss the person. But you can't miss the person if you're always up under the person. That's my take on it.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap the episode. We'll let our guests plug her social medias where you guys can follow her at one more time.
Breana_Dawn_.
She on TikTok. She has a soul food restaurant.
A what?
She sells fish out of a taco truck.
Can you just disconnect his shit? Like, just turn him off.
And on that note,
turn off his microphone.
No Talent Beats.
She on a billboard.
Play us out.
Did you hear what I sound like?
No Talent Beats.